Okay, the match just ended. Maccabi Haifa 3, Red Star Belgrade 2, in what was a very interesting match. It was a tale of kind of two tapes with the match turning on its head three different times. Start from the beginning. I usually start from the lineup. I think the lineup was pretty much what we expected from Maccabi Haifa and pretty much what we expected from Red Star. We heard some rumblings that maybe Bukhari wouldn't start this match to go with a little bit of more defensive play with Sonogo, but that wasn't the case. So Red Star's best 11 came out, and Maccabi Haifa's best 11 came out as well. The first 25 minutes was totally controlled by Maccabi Haifa, and they deserved the 1-0 lead at that point. Rodic got turned once or twice. I think that Milan Borjan could have done a little bit better with the cross. I mean, I can't fault him. He's saved us so many times that, I'm going to look through my fingers of that. Who cares? We have to go out and score for him after that, which we did. But, he misses the ball and then kind of slides by Irakovic, and Piero scores the goal, who was a menace today. He was excellent. Pretty much everything that I said, the big build, the ability to protect the ball, to get his teammates involved. He was just a handful the entire match for Milunovic, who is, fairly skinny. His, strength is heading the ball. Anytime it's in his feet, he gets very nervous. And I think as a team, were very nervous in those first 20-25 minutes. A lot of giveaways from the back line, giveaway from Dragovic. I think Milunovic had one, Kanga. Very, very sloppy. And Maccabi fully deserved the 1-0 lead. The thing that I didn't quite understand is why didn't Maccabi keep playing the way that they did? They took their the foot off the gas after about 20-25 minutes. Red Star get a fairly lucky goal. Katai deflection off Pesic, who scores, I think, his third goal in 2 matches against Maccabi Haifa or something like that. Nothing worse than a goalkeeper diving one way and then watching the ball go in the net in the other side. It's one of the worst things that can happen to you. And there's not really much that he could have done with that. Then Bukhari had a chance from about 10, 12 yards out where he skied the ball. He could have placed it anywhere. He decided to go for a very strong shot, which I don't think was the right decision. Sure, there were, I think, 2 Maccabi Haifa players standing on the line, but I think if you place it correctly, you have a 2-1 lead. Shortly after that, Red Star scored their second goal. Kanga top of the box. You can't really give him too much time. If he has time to place it, more often than not, he's going to score, and he scored a really nice goal. And at that point, I thought that Maccabi Haifa kind of had their backs against the wall, kind of like Red Star did in the first 20-25 minutes. Red Star had to finish it off, and that's the bottom line. We had to finish off the match. Alexander Pesic had another chance. Shortly after that, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper that the goalkeeper saved. Tried to go through his legs. He kind of covered in time. But after the 45 minutes, you're thinking... I was thinking that Maccabi would come out strong in the second half, which they did. But with 2-1, 2 or 3 missed chances, opportunities, you have to score those. In these stages, you have to score those goals because every goal counts. And in the second half, Maccabi get a second goal, which was Piero again, a very powerful header. Nothing Milan Borjan could do. Milunovic was as tight on him as you can, but he's just a very powerful player. Back of the net, 2-2. Shetty, who was a lot better in the second half. I think he was actually good in that first half as well. The first 20-25 minutes, I thought he was very good. As were Piero, as was Haziza. Haziza, player of the match for me, 3 assists. We just decided not to mark him at all in the match. I find it crazy that that there's a lot of threats in this Maccabi Haifa team, but the guy who's crossing the ball the entire time, you decide to not even man mark him, which is crazy to me. Shetty scores the goal. He could have picked where he wanted it. Similar goal to Kanga, top of the box. Those type of players, you can't give that time. Milan Borjan didn't even bother diving. And then the rest of the match was kind of, we still kind of went punch for punch. I think Maccabi Haifa had a few chances. Red Star late in the last 10 minutes had a few chances where we should have scored to tie it at 3-3. But I'm going to question Dan Stankovic with his substitutions. Katai going off in the 55th minute. Katai wasn't great today, but I didn't think he was that bad. And you take him off in the 55th minute. Anytime you do that with a player who has the ability to change a match with one move and one deke, one goal, I question that a little bit. And Stankovic does this quite a bit with Katai. If he's going through a slump, he doesn't usually let him play through it. He usually subs him off. I thought Mirko Ivanic played well as well, and he kind of got thrown all around the pitch from attacking positions to a little bit more defensive positions. He was kind of playing all over the place. So you take off Katai, you take off Ivanic, you take off Bukhari, who picked up a knock. That's a completely different story. I mean, you're taking off the 3 guys and you take off Pesic as well. So you're taking off the 4 guys who are goal threats. And you're bringing on guys who haven't played much this season. You bring on Srnic, who hasn't, I don't think he's played 50, 60 minutes all season in 6 or 7 matches. You bring on Sanogo, who hasn't played much, and he didn't really look good out there. A lot of plays with the ball on his feet that he kind of messed around with. I don't think that he did well in that segment of the game. And you bring on Elfar Ben, who hasn't played much at all this season either. And the worst part is you send Ben as a false 9, and then you have guys crossing the ball to him. And Ben's not a man of big stature. He's probably like 5'9", 5'10", or something like that. Just didn't make any sense for me. Oki was on the bench. I think that would have been a better solution. I just didn't understand taking off all those 4 guys and then bringing on guys who really haven't played much this season. I questioned that. Stefan Mitrovic, I thought, tried to get some things done. He's soft in duels with players, so he gets pushed around a lot. That's why he has to use his speed a little bit better than what he did. I think Kangwa later on got moved to the right flank. I thought he was decent. Again, he's trying to whip in the ball to someone like Ben, who's short in frame. He's not gonna work very well. And then there was that one cross, I think it was Kangwa actually, where the goalkeeper Cohen just got a hand on it and Mitrovic couldn't put in the rebound, and that could have been 3-3. But Maccabi Haifa had some chances at 3-2 where they could have gone up 4-2, and now you're in a very difficult situation going back to Belgrade, where you have to score 2 goals just to get into extra time and eventually penalties, whatever the case may be. And I think this is the first match where we kind of saw Kanga and Kangwa. I don't know if that partnership is going to work once the better teams come. And Maccabi Haifa is an excellent team, excellent. And it didn't work well against them. So what's going to happen when, either Champions League or Europa League, when you play, the best team out of your group? So I think there's some questions there. We'll see what happens with the Edmonado transfer. There's still nothing. It's been quiet for the last 2 or 3 days. We'll see what happens. But, again, up 2-1, you have to finish off the match. You have to score some goals. I think for Maccabi Haifa's side, you kind of look at the first 20, 25 minutes, and they're not going to come out like that in Belgrade. There's just no way. They could have got a lot more, I think, from this match as well. I think they could have won by 2 goals. And it's funny I say that because Red Star, like I said, had chances as well. But if they kept on playing at that pace, I just don't understand. I know that tactically Dan Stankovic changed some things, but Haifa adjusted well to that at halftime, and they came out strong, and they scored 2 goals. And I think overall in the match, I think they deserved the 3-2 win. I think that they deserved the win overall. I think there's some things that we need to work on. Milunovic is he's long-legged, so he covers a lot of space, and he's able to cut off a lot of the kind of through balls that are being placed. He's very good at that. But anything else, like in terms of, I usually call him safety first because he usually just gets the ball out. There's stuff like that really scares me. There's no answer at right back. Irakovic played there. I thought he was good tonight, but it's not his position. He's a center back, and it's a position that the club need to address. Whether we get to Europa League or Champions League, it's a position that needs to be addressed, because we can't keep doing this where we send out Irakovic to play at that position, and once he gets even speedier players to play against him, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And overall, I'm disappointed, obviously, with the loss, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot better, truth be told. So the rematch is in Belgrade on next Tuesday. I expect a packed crowd, 50,000, 50,000. It's gonna be a raucous atmosphere. But what we saw today is, Red Star don't even have to play at their best to kind of create chances and to score goals, which we saw. I say a lucky goal for Alexander Pesci that really deflected off his foot, and then the Kanga's well-placed ball. But I think that the Maccabi Haifa backline isn't very good. I think they let a lot of crosses in, which we couldn't really take. We couldn't take our opportunities. I don't think that the goalkeeper is that great either. I know that he had, the one save late on in the match. I think we just need to have a lot of shots on net, and he's not very good from distance, which Kanga showed. And I think there was one shot from Bukhari that he had in the first half where he let a ball go, and that the goalkeeper kind of fumbled. But those are the segments that we kind of have to study on and get better for the next match. and it's going to be one hell of a match in Belgrade in, I guess, 6 days now.